Hello and good evening. You're watching AWANI Tonight with me, Hafiz Marzukhi. The Sabah Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, or MACC, has confirmed that former Sabah Mineral Management, or SMM CEO John Anggihon has been called in for questioning in connection with allegations of corruption involving the procurement of mineral projects in the state. MACC Sabah Director Dato' S. Karunaniti confirmed the development to Sinar Harian. The investigation was launched following reports of corruption linked to the procurement of mineral projects involving a businessman with ties to a local assembly person. So far, 5 assembly persons have been questioned and the investigation remains ongoing. John T made headlines recently when he accused Sabah Chief Minister Dato' Seri Haji Noor of abusing his powers. In response, Haji stated that he would leave the matter to investigators to handle. The late former Finance Minister Tuan Ibrahim was acquitted by the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court in a case accusing him of failing to declare over 70 assets. The prosecution withdrew the charges following his death on November 13.
Judge Azura Alwi discharged the case after Deputy Public Prosecutor Datuk Wan Shaharuddin Wan Ladin said the government had no intention to proceed with the trial. Daim was charged in January under Section 36(2) of the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission Act for allegedly failing to declare assets, including luxury vehicles, properties and companies across multiple states. Daim's wife, Toh Puan Naimah Abdul Khalid, who faces a separate charge of failing to declare assets, said she wanted her late husband's case to continue, as he had expressed a strong desire for the trial to run its full course. In a statement on Tuesday, she had described the year-long investigation as frivolous, malicious and politically motivated.
Faulty electrical wiring on an express bus was found to be the cause of the tragic death of an 18-year-old boy due to electrocution. Transport Minister Anthony Loke says investigation by a special task force found several critical lapses in the bus's wiring and equipment.
Kependawaian soket dipasang secara terbalik. Di samping itu, penggunaan kelengkapan elektrik yang digunakan dalam bas tersebut juga tidak memenuhi standard piawaian barangan yang ditetapkan. Pemasangan pendawaian elektrik bas juga dilakukan oleh pihak yang tidak bertauliah oleh Suruhanjaya Tenaga.
He added that while the bus's structural components adhered to approved technical plans and passed a Puspacom inspection, the electrical wiring issues needed immediate attention. Loke said actions have been taken to address the issue and prevent similar incidents in the future, including an immediate ban on 3-pin sockets and USB ports. On November 2nd, Noor Ashmawi Jasmadi died 10 minutes after boarding an express bus at the Penang Central Terminal in Butterworth. Police found burns on his left finger believed to have been caused by the electric shock he suffered while charging his phone.
The employee who was seen punching a foreigner at KLIA's Not to Land or NTL zone has been suspended from duty effective immediately. Transport Minister Anthony Loke says the employee is from Aero Darat Services Sdn Bhd, a company engaged by Malaysia Aviation Group to manage the NTL area.
Kaki tangan itu menyatakan bahawa dia ada provokasi daripada penumpang NTL itu, menyebabkan dia pun ada physical contact dan ada kata-kata yang tidak cantik lah, kata-kata kesat dan sebagainya terhadap. Jadi apa pun keadaan, memang kita tak boleh mempertahankan tindakan kaki tangan itu. At any event, dia mesti bertindak secara profesional. Sebab dia bertindak sebagai seorang kaki tangan di airport kita. Walaupun mungkin kadang-kala kita tahu ada juga penumpang-penumpang yang mungkin dia tidak begitu sopan.
The staff member involved was issued a show cause letter by Aero Darat pending further investigation. Starting next year, citizens can opt for physical driving licenses and road tax documents, though a fee may apply. Transport Minister Anthony Loke says this initiative comes in response to numerous public complaints about the shift to digital formats.
He emphasized that the ministry is committed to enhancing digital services as evidenced by the MyJPJ app, which has been downloaded by 13.7 million users and facilitated over 1 million transactions worth 121 million ringgit. The Road Transport Department also plans to introduce a new notification feature within the MyJPJ app. This feature will alert users about the expiration date of their motor vehicle licenses, ensuring timely renewals and improved user experience. During roadblocks, officers now can use digital devices to check the road tax records by entering the vehicle's plate number, eliminating physical checks and streamlining the process.
Malaysia will launch a new generation of identity cards, or MyCard, as part of the efforts to combat identity fraud, says Deputy Home Minister Datuk Seri Syamsul Anwar Nasarah. He says the National Registration Department, or NRD, is in the final stages of finalising the new structure of the MyCard.
Pergantian kad pengenalan struktur baru ini adalah bertujuan untuk pastikan kad pengenalan yang bakal dikeluarkan oleh Jabatan Pendaftaran Negara ini kepada rakyat Malaysia mempunyai ciri-ciri keselamatan yang tinggi, selamat dan dipertingkatkan selari dengan perkembangan teknologi keselamatan terkini, serta bagi membendung sebarang insiden dan percubaan untuk memalsu dan menyalahguna kad pengenalan yang menjadi dokumen pengenalan penting dan utama bagi Malaysia.
We'll go for a short break. Stay with us.
Rambut gugur lagi? Macam mana Gunakan Pantene Baharu dengan provitamin mikro yang meresap dan menguatkan rambut dari dalam. Rambut 10 kali lebih kuat terhadap rambut gugur. Pantene Baharu.
Sesi pencalonan High Council. 3, 2, 1. Kau nak jadi amlah kau. Guna tu tepat kau saja.
Daulat Tuanku.
The Housing and Local Government Ministry is working towards incorporating climate-resilient designs into future affordable housing projects. Minister Ngah Koming says this strategy aims to ensure the urban poor are not left behind in Malaysia's sustainability transition.
We have rebranded our affordable housing program, known as the People Residential Program. We aim to integrate climate resilience design features into our affordable housing project. This ensures that our urban poor are not left behind in the transition to greener, more sustainable cities. Furthermore, we aim to build and upgrade at least 100 public parks each year to scale up nature-based solutions. We are also increasing our investment with significant budget allocated for flood mitigation works ahead of the monsoon period.
Ngah was delivering Malaysia's address at the Ministerial Roundtable on Urbanisation and Climate Change at COP29 in Baku, Azerbaijan.
The United States has temporarily closed its embassy in Kiev, citing intelligence about a potential significant air attack. Americans in Ukraine are being urged to prepare to seek shelter immediately. The closure and warning come as the war in Ukraine marks its 1,000th day.
The embassy is also advising U.S. citizens to stock up on essential supplies like food, water and medications in anticipation of potential power and water outages from Russian strikes. Recently, Ukraine used U.S.-made long-range missiles to strike Russian territory following President Joe Biden's approval to lift restrictions on their use. This move represents a significant shift in U.S. policy, as Washington had previously been cautious about allowing strikes deep into Russia for fear of escalating the conflict. The decision comes just 2 months before Biden is set to hand over office to Donald Trump. Trump has repeatedly threatened to cut off U.S. aid to Ukraine, leaving uncertainty about future American involvement in the war. Meanwhile, Russian President Vladimir Putin has lowered the threshold for a nuclear strike, expanding the conditions under which such weapons could be used.
Key roles in US President-elect Donald Trump's administration are starting to take shape. One of his picks announced today is the nomination of World Wrestling Entertainment or WWE co-founder Linda McMahon as Education Secretary. A close Trump ally, McMahon previously served as head of the Small Business Administration during his first presidency and was a major donor to his presidential campaign, contributing millions of dollars. Trump also said that he had chosen television personality and surgeon Dr. Mehmet Oz to serve as administrator of the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. The agency oversees Medicare and Medicaid, which provide health coverage to over 140 million Americans and manages an annual budget of $2.6 trillion. Trump has also named Wall Street CEO Howard Lutnick as his pick for Commerce Secretary. The investment banker will spearhead Trump's trade and tariff strategy, overseeing an agency often used as a key tool against China's tech sector. He is a longtime friend of Trump and supports his vision to bring manufacturing jobs back to the US and promote cryptocurrencies. While he rarely comments on China, Lutnick is a strong advocate for tariffs, particularly targeting Beijing. A Philippine woman sentenced to death in Indonesia when drug charges will be handed over to Manila after years of diplomatic negotiations. Mary Jane Veloso was arrested in Yogyakarta in 2010 for carrying a suitcase containing 2.6 kilograms of heroin and was later sentenced to death by firing squad.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. announced that Veloso will be transferred to the Philippines in December to serve the remainder of her sentence in her home country. He expressed gratitude to Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto for his cooperation in the matter. The mother of two's case sparked an uproar in the Philippines, where her family and supporters have consistently argued that she was innocent and framed by an international drug syndicate. Veloso has always maintained her innocence, claiming she was unknowingly used as a drug mule by a Philippine employment recruiter.
Rafael Nadal's remarkable career came to an end as Spain was defeated by the Netherlands in the Davis Cup in Malaga. The 38-year-old, who has won 22 Grand Slam titles, had previously announced that the men's team event would mark the final chapter of his illustrious career.
In front of a packed crowd, Nadal lost 6-4, 6-4 to Botic van de Zandschulp as the Netherlands took an early lead in the best-of-3 quarter-final tie. Holding back tears, Nadal delivered a nearly 15-minute speech, reflecting on his career and the significance of the moment.
I am one of these that I have been very lucky that the life gave me the opportunity to live unforgettable experiences because of tennis. No? So I just want to be remembered as a good person and a kid that follow their dreams.
Nadal had played on tour for more than 2 decades, reaching #1 in the ATP rankings and holding the longest consecutive streak in the top 10 in history for nearly 18 years. His career was hampered in recent seasons by a series of injuries, leading him to play less frequently in the past 2 years.
That wraps up AWANI Tonight. Do check out our revamped English web portal, delivering in-depth news and analysis to keep you informed on the critical events shaping our world. All in one place at international.astroawani.com. That's all for now. I'm Hafiz Marzukhi. Thanks for watching and good night.